If I can find us a true crime. Bow, bow, bow. What up, Maya? Alright. What up, Alex?
Red lip, no.
Laughing when I killed my mother. Why'd you get? I was laughing when I killed my mother.
Holy fuck, it's Bane! Let my sister cut my hair. How'd it turn out?
Why'd you get rid of that shirt? It had pieces of my mother's brain stuck to it. I killed Josh with a sledgehammer too.
This
Holy fuck, this guy's insane.
is 15-year-old Zachary Davis.
He's 15? What the fuck? This song only was too long.
He's just been brought in for questioning after a fire was discovered at his house. Initially, the tragedy appeared to be nothing more than an unfortunate accident. That is, until a body was discovered inside the home. Even more horrifying was the fact that the victim, Zachary's mother, hadn't been killed by the flames, but by a sledgehammer before the
God damn, bro! Out of everything you can murder someone with, why a fucking
fire was even started. In about 3 seconds, you'll see Zachary crack, but not in the way anyone expected.
It looks kind of evil when you do that. I'm gonna have to say, I think you know you're doing it.
In this never-before-seen interrogation footage, Zachary is brutally honest as he details his crime, and yet his astonishing motive leaves investigators wondering how much of this chilling tale is the result of a disturbed mind or a series of cleverly concocted lies. In the early hours of August 10th,
but I think the killers who kill and they're like, I'm a serial killer. I've been training to do this my whole life. I've always thought about carrying out the perfect crime. And like, as they're saying this, like as they're sitting in an interrogation room, you're like,
2012, emergency services were called to a house fire in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Inside the burning home, firefighters discovered the body of Melanie Davis lying on her bed, covered in blood
I'm gonna be so pissed
and
if one of my
brutally
kids murder me.
disfigured. The single mom of 2
Like,
teenage boys
and
worked as a
me.
paralegal and trained as a triathlete. Outside the home, one of her sons, 17-year-old Joshua Davis, waited with the police. But his younger brother, Zachary, was nowhere to be found.
He's 15 and killed his mom with a fucking sledgehammer, bro. Kids nowadays.
4 hours later, and around 5 miles from the home, police spotted 15-year-old Zachary Davis as he walked alone down a road, attempting to leave town. He was subsequently picked up and brought to the Summer Country Sheriff's Office for questioning.
Bro, look how
This
he's
interview
aging.
is just the beginning of a truly disturbing case, filled with shocking allegations and a series of twisted lies.
This is the sheriff's office, and what we'd like to do is talk to you about
Good, Alex. I don't know.
something happened at your house, and that's what we kind of want to talk to you about your house. You've probably seen some cop shows and stuff, right? You've seen police shows and things like that. You do have rights and stuff, and so before asking questions...
You do have rights and stuff.
You want to go ahead and talk to us about what happened tonight? Yes, sure.
Hey!
If you do, just Zach, what I want to do is make sure you understand that this is a waiver.
Stop it.
And you're waiving your rights. What I'd like to do is make sure you can read and write. If you would, read that last paragraph out loud. I've read this statement of my rights and understand what my rights are.
With his
Why does he sound like an old-ass man?
confirmation that he's waiving his rights, the interview gets underway.
You've never been in any trouble, have you? No, sir. So, no trouble in school, nothing like that?
I like how he's wearing a Livestrong shirt.
One of
It's
the
like,
obvious unusual characteristics
people
about Zachary
live
is his
with
lack of
cancer.
expression of emotion or emotional detachment. His monotone voice and flat facial expression are indications of a person who is either guarded and is consciously avoiding any show of emotion, or a person who struggles to express emotion because of some other issue, such as a psychotic disorder like
Damn, why is the front of his face so flat?
schizophrenia, or a developmental disorder like autism spectrum disorder.
Damn.
Though he doesn't
They
offer up
roasted
a
him.
lot of information himself, The investigators have
Yeah, I'm with
researched
your mom
Zachary's
right now,
family and began asking him about his past to get him comfortable with talking to them.
I understand that your father had passed away.
Yes, sir.
How did he pass away?
He died from parents' disease.
Pretty rough on you,
Jesus
wasn't
Christ.
Yes, sir.
it? Didn't bother you?
Starbar, that's insane.
I was told that it bothered you.
I'm sorry, Mr.
That you were upset about your dad. Is that not true?
Yes, sir.
So it is true?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
In 2007, the Davis
just says
family
no,
faced
sir.
their first tragedy, but certainly
But
not
it was
their
pretty
last.
good. How's yours, Mercy?
The two boys lost their father, Chris, to amyotrophic lateral sclerosis,
Damn.
also known as ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease.
Avocado! With 2 fucking gifted subs. Guys, we said our daily sub goal. Thanks to motherfucking avocado. So we're gonna have a morning stream. Morning strum! W-cado, bro. I appreciate you so much. Love you, man. Love you.
Losing a parent is traumatic for any
Good,
child,
Mercy.
but despite his denials, his father's death impacted
But hey, 2
Zachary
gifted
even
subs.
more
Let's
severely
go
than
for
most.
real, bro. He might have killed someone, but gifted subs. So W. Overall, it's a dub. Because we weren't watching this, we wouldn't have got those gifted subs. What up, Trickster?
And
I
with
will,
consequences that would unfold years later. According to family, Zachary was already a quiet kid, but at
God,
only 9 years
he looks
old when his
old.
father died, he became even more withdrawn. Following the tragedy, the family...
How does he look? How is he a child, but he looks like he's like a grown-up?
Now
For
just
real?
Melanie and her 2 sons moved to Sumner County, and though this was meant to be a fresh start, things would only get worse for them once there. At
It really
11,
does.
Zachary began to display strange behavior,
11, bro.
though it isn't clear exactly what, but Melanie grew concerned enough to seek medical help for her son.
Have you ever had to see a doctor for anything as far as having problems with
At 11, so he looks 35. He's 15 right here.
I saw his therapist shortly after. She a very long direction of time.
What was that about?
Boring.
Who wanted
I'm not
to see
sure.
a therapist?
Remember this
She
one?
did. Okay, so there was just a couple times is all you saw him. How long ago was that?
A year that one year.
You remember what year that was?
2008, I think.
What were the reasons that your mama wanted you to
The
go
back
to?
of his head. Mercy, that's what you noticed?
Zachary was
He's a
diagnosed with a depressive
56-year-old.
disorder.
Bro, yeah, if he didn't kill anyone, he was already fucked anyways from the beginning of life, just by, like, looking old as fuck at a young age.
But that was just the beginning.
He never had a
He
chance.
also told doctors that he was hearing voices, including the voice of his deceased father,
Holy
and he was soon
shit.
diagnosed with
This is a bit too hard.
psychosis. However, at some point, his mother
Voices?
stopped his mental health treatment, but it's unknown exactly why. While psychosis itself is not a clinical disorder, it is a symptom that is often associated with
Damn.
schizophrenia. Onset of schizophrenia in children is very rare.
And he had all the... Imagine, like, a human being like this. Like, he grew up with his family, had 15 years of vacations, experiences, this with his family, and then, like, he just murders someone someday. That's just
That's
crazy.
still possible. Other causes of hearing voices during childhood
In this
could
image, I
include
know!
depression and anxiety disorder.
Like, if he just had his head and didn't have, like, his body in the shirt, he would look like a grown-ass man.
And or experiencing a traumatic
He
event.
could get into a bar,
such as the
bro.
death of a parent. Despite Zachary telling investigators he wasn't seeing anyone for help, the calendar on his phone showed that he had at least one meeting with the guidance counselor at his school, Ms. Higgs, indicating
fuck
that
has a
perhaps
planner on their
someone
phone?
realized something was wrong. Though no one could have guessed the true extent of just how disturbed he was.
Something went on at your house today, and I just kind of like you to kind of tell us what happened.
You don't use planners. No, when you so in school you didn't have like that planner app on the computer where you're like, oh, never mind.
Is there a reason why you did that?
I think it was called Blackboard or something.
Well, can you tell me why?
Yeah, sure.
You can't tell me why?
Yeah, sure.
Is it a reason you don't know why you did it, or you just don't want to tell?
I didn't know why I did that.
He knows why.
Okay. You do know why you did it.
Yes.
I forgot. Like books aren't my schedule.
Okay.
School. I think I better remember
That's the
that.
house on fire
Yeah,
too?
yeah. In school back in the day, they had Blackboard, which is like a school planner thing online. You could look at. Your teachers could schedule things. You could schedule things. It's basically like an online planner, and that's what his thing was. And it's like really old and like busted looking. He sounds like a smoker. He sounds old as fuck. I have a budget plan. That's about it.
I
have a journal.
I don't know if it actually got the whole house on fire though.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it did. I mean, a little bit, I think, but not bad or anything. Have you been having problems with your mom?
Not sure.
Unlike most crimes, it's all too clear that Zachary is the killer. But though he states freely that he killed his mother, this story will change eventually.
Oh, damn.
Hauntingly, recovered text
I don't know,
messages
Kat.
between Zachary and his mom
No, they didn't put a voice changer on, but I don't know if that's his real voice or he's faking it.
indicate that they had a seemingly
I love
ordinary,
planning, me
even
too.
loving relationship. In one, Zachary wrote to his mother, "Sorry, I was asleep," with a heart emoji.
What the fuck?
Another, this one from Melanie to Zachary, reads, "Love you. Tried to talk to you before we left, but your door was locked." Through these texts, the family appeared to be perfectly normal, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
What the fuck?
We found a
No,
book
sir.
on a notepad.
It was really
It
sweet.
was on it. It said some things in there. Is that notepad yours that we found? It talks about your mom and about.
Yes, sure.
Maybe not.
That's what's so important about this. I mean,
I don't think
we
he's
want to
handcuffed.
understand what. Like I said, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to. I mean, but we want to understand, what happened. I mean, that's important.
No, he's not handcuffed.
I know it could be kind of scary to talk about, but.
Would you feel more comfortable if there was just one person in the room?
I don't mind having two people here.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes, sure.
Did you move your desk? Yeah.
And like I
Yeah,
said,
you're
like
right, though.
I told you in your rights, you don't have to tell us if you
He's
don't
gonna
want
kill this man any second. Bro, he's such a hard read. I don't know if this is all an act or he's like really fucked up in the head.
to. It's very important though that something like this that happens.
I mean, look at his stare. Look at his eye
That's
contact.
what we want to know. There's a reason.
That's pretty
This is your
impressive.
time to tell us.
Is he
why
touching
it
him? I
happened.
don't know.
I'd rather not share.
Okay.
The text messages from the day before he killed his mom show them planning to go to a movie. Melanie first wrote, "Hey, sweetie, I just took Josh to the orthodontist. We'll be back hopefully soon." Then later, "We can see Born or Campaign today. I want to see both."
Damn.
And, "Sounds good. Josh is back in, but we may need to pick him up at Ryan's house." The last message she sent before her death was to Zachary and
Real.
reads only, "Okay," with a heart.
The little say
It's eerily
situation.
clear that Melanie had no idea what Zachary was planning,
That's so
or that
fucked,
she would
that
meet
poor
such a
mama.
horrific end just
Yeah,
hours
she didn't
after
even
attending the
expect
movie
it.
with her two
It didn't. Wait, just 2 hours. They just got back from the movies and he did it?
sons.
Would be dead too? Damn!
Zachary's
You
brother
roasted
Josh
the
has
fuck out
also
of him,
been brought to
Chad.
the police station to speak with police. He was asked to recount his day before
The
the fire
tap out
was
shirts
set.
back then.
He told them that he had gone to the orthodontist with his mother before returning home.
So sweet.
His
Like, what the
answer
fuck,
also
man?
reveals a bit about his relationship with his brother.
What's that doing when you get home?
Holy shit! And this kid is 18? Bro, these kids were living rough. Their sons are
I
15.
think you should find it.
This kid is 18. This guy looks like he's like almost like 25 or 30. Why their kids look so old? No, he's 29.
We kind of, we kind of keep to ourselves, I guess.
Okay, so you that don't have a good relationship?
Looks
Well,
30.
No, we do. It's just like I don't know. Like he just kind of, stays to himself. He's kind of a quiet person,
Just
I
does
guess.
that.
Have you been
That
having
does my heart watching this.
any problems?
It just seems so evil, like such a betrayal to a mother.
He's always been kind of like
Probably the lighting.
quiet,
Get out of here.
I guess odd.
Josh seems hesitant to talk about his brother, and although he's giving limited information,
Is he
the
looking out for
descriptive
him, or just
words
doesn't
such
know
as
him?
quiet and odd may indicate that Zachary was showing signs of mental health issues. What's also
Dang, bro,
strange.
I was a quiet, odd kid growing up in school. Everyone's always like, son, he's quiet and kind of weird, bro.
Cheers, Josh's apparent
But when I was a kid, I remember I was so quiet and shy. I've honestly made huge leaps between now and streaming, but like I remember I'd be in school and like these kids would be making fun of me, just talking shit, running their mouth at me, bro. And I would just like sit there and I wouldn't say a word. I wouldn't like stop or whatever. I would just like sit there. I remember and just be quiet as fuck. Like I was like I hated Sam. I got beat up so much, like, and I don't remember why. I remember sitting there wanting to say something, wanting to talk, and I was just quiet as fuck. Of course, I was a kid, so like, I don't take it too seriously. Me too. Jack doesn't look sad. Yeah, bro, his mom just died, and he's acting pretty normal.
Lack of visible concern, given what just happened to his mother. The average son or family member would be hysterical and wondering, or at least theorizing, about what could have prompted Zachary to commit such a horrific
why does he
act.
not care?
However, there's a chance he's in shock, as this all just occurred a few hours earlier.
What kind of person is your brother? Your typical male teenager. Typical male teenager.
Teenager. That guy's 18.
You two get along pretty good? Sometimes.
Despite this claim, texts between the brothers show that they messaged fairly often, talking about how their school year was delayed, video games, and how Zachary wanted to spend his birthday alone, with Josh writing to him.
I always laugh at this.
If you don't want Ryan to come over, I can tell him not to. I want you to have your birthday the way you want it, and I especially want you to be happy on your birthday. In one more recent message, Josh even apologizes for arguing with Zachary.
Damn, bro. These kids were low-key fugly. I'm not even trying to shit on them, but bro, these parents put out some fugly kids.
The brothers often used heart emojis in their messages, frequently saying, I love you to each other. From the outside, it's difficult to imagine such a horrific tragedy occurring in this family, but only because Zachary has yet to reveal his motive to investigators.
I mean, not laugh at the tragedies, but aspects of like, the people in them.
I mean, do you have friends you chat with or anything like that?
No, shit. I usually only talk to my...
One of my siblings. I mean, I don't say Ellie to Ben, but me and Ben say I love you often, like, you know, multiple times per day. And at one time a pervert, I was also bullied. They called you a pervert? Yeah, I joke, I'm sorry. Per day, yeah.
So you don't have any friends other than your mother and your brother that you talk to?
No, sure.
Zachary may not have had many friends outside of his family, but a note in his phone indicated that there was a teacher who he was close to. The note reads, Thursday, March 29th, 2012. I saw Mr. Voss at school today. From the way he looked at me, I could tell he hated me. I didn't know what to say to him, so I just kept walking. I really hope I can repair our friendship before I leave Tennessee. He's the only person I've met that has sincerely cared about.
That's why I got like in school I was really quiet and awkward and odd, and that's why I started I retreated onto like YouTube streamers, and that's why I got so into streamers growing up as a kid. Like I'd always watch them, become part of the communities, and that's why I always wanted to be one. Are these teachers' names? Mr. Voss doesn't sound that odd.
About me.
Hell. Your name is Plissy, bro. Someone named Plissy is like Mr. Voss. What the hell? What a weird name.
Well, he's like a father to me. I don't know what I did to cause this, but I hope it can be forgiven. Mr. Voss is also the only true friend I've ever had. This note depicts a very different person from the emotionally detached teen we're seeing in this interrogation. His note shows indications of emotion, of caring what another person thinks of him, and of caring about another person, his teacher. The note indicates that Zachary may be lonely, and that he may not be able to connect with kids his age.
Well, no shit. He sounds like he's 85. And Jep! With a motherfucking gift, dude! Jep coming in with a gift, dude. W Jep. Everyone W Jep. Because he is a W. I appreciate you, brother.
If he names a teacher as his friend. In his interview, Josh tells the detectives that when the movie ended around 8 p.m., the family went directly home.
You didn't see anything tonight?
There's no way he's 18.
Than the way he normally acts?
I mean, no.
Most of the time. That's how I was, bro. Growing up in school, I had one good friend I was close to. I had my best friend. I had my brother and my girlfriend. That's all I was hanging out with.
Realizing that Zachary was not either acting differently from his typical behavior just prior to murdering his mother, or at least showing a change in his behavior recently. The level of aggression that he inflicted on his mother when he killed her, and the simple fact that he went through with murdering
Jesus,
her,
bro.
are
Imagine being
behaviors that occur when a
15
person
and
has snapped
swinging a
or has
sledgehammer on
reached
your
an
mom.
emotional breakdown. Josh then recounts going into his mother's room to talk to her just a few hours before Zachary killed her.
I went and talked to my mom for a little while, and then
Remember about what time that
It's
was?
fucked up, I know.
that was right around 9, probably.
You had so many
That was
friends
right
in
when I
school?
said good night.
Or now?
She went to sleep, and then I went upstairs.
I don't know yet, Mercy. I feel like something like what the mom did to him is about to come out. But I think it's gonna be more baffling if she didn't do anything to him.
In my room.
So you talked to her for a few minutes?
Yes, ma'am.
Now?
She was
Oh, yeah.
working out when I went in there, so I worked
This
out
is the
with
most
her for a
social
minute.
and the best friends I've had in my
What
whole
was she
life.
doing when you said she was working out? What was she working out?
Did
Like,
anything.
sleeping and stuff.
Despite describing what were his last moments with his mother, Josh still shows very little, if any, emotion.
I wonder if it's like a family thing. Like they're just a weird family. No,
When
they
you
haven't
get
said anything
home
yet.
and your mom goes to bed at 9, where are you and what are you doing in the house? Are you in the house?
I was already planning everything.
You were in your
Planning?
bedroom or in the room where the fire was started?
The room where the fire was started.
What do you call that room?
What do you call it? Game room.
Game room? So you're in the game room
Just you
planning
now,
everything.
motherfucker. You killed him.
Yes, sir.
All right. And how long does it take you to plan that?
Probably a few minutes, but I waited for several hours to make sure everybody in the house was asleep.
That's
How'd you
so
make
creepy. He was just sitting. He planned it in a couple minutes, and it was just sitting there waiting for everyone to fall asleep. That'd be classy, LCP.
Sure they were asleep.
I just waited and then checked on them.
Just checked on them, opened the door and looked
LCP is
down.
elegant.
Yes, sir. I killed her at around 11 p.m., I think. And I think she went to sleep.
That's their problem. They go to bed early. If they were up late night watching the cynicalul stream, this would never happen. Losing a parent at the age when you're sentient? Fuck. And remember stuff probably didn't a number, but it's still not an excuse. Like, bro, I think what the brother's in on it.
Around 9 o'clock.
Okay. When you killed her, what about your brother lives there with you too, right? That's the only person who lives with you?
Yes, sir.
Did you do anything to him?
No, sir. I was kind of expecting the fire
Hero
to
Barbie.
kill him.
Oh, you were? Okay.
That's right. Zachary didn't just set the fire in an attempt to destroy the evidence of him killing his mother, but also in the hopes that his brother would be killed by the flames.
What the fuck?
As well, to ensure Melanie's death, after hitting her with the sledgehammer, Zachary locked the door behind him to prevent Josh from going in and potentially helping her.
And then I woke up around, I'm not sure what time it is,
You tried to
thing
kill
was
him.
going off. And, at first I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a sound in my room. Then I figured I was fire alarm was running around.
Yeah, it was too
and I was
late.
looking for my brother upstairs in his room. He wasn't in there, and I saw the fire was started in there. So I ran downstairs to get my mom, and the door was locked. So I had to kick the door in to get in there.
Damn.
And throw her on the bed.
What did you do then?
Damn, so bro, imagine his morning. He wakes up, his house is on fire. He goes to check on his brother not there. He goes to save his mom, door's locked. He kicks in the door. Her brain is smashed in with a fucking hammer. Worse, he could have still retrieved her body though. That's horrifying. That's crazy. What a crazy way to wake up.
I just went outside the house and called 911. And
I want to hear the 911 call.
my neighbor's morning shot.
Where'd you get the sledgehammer at?
From my garage.
Okay, and what about how did you try and set the fire?
First I tried to drag a lawnmower upstairs and meet to the fuel tank in the room, but I couldn't do that, so I just poured a bottle of whiskey on the floor and left it on fire.
A bottle of whiskey.
Hey, you thought that would work?
Okay. And was that before or after you hit your mom? After, okay.
Jesus.
How many times did you hit her with the sledgehammer? I don't know. I mean, any estimation? I'd say at least 12. So,
a big ass sledgehammer where you have to two-hand and heave it over your head. Heave it over your head. Heave it over your head. It's not one of those little ones where you go bang, 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 bang. It's like 1, bang. Pick that thing back up, back over your shoulder. 2, bang. You know what I mean? Because if you're swinging it like this, you're not going to do anything. So he was having to, boom, 12 stab wounds. Not even stab wounds, bro. That's like blunt. That's like getting hit with like Jesus. I don't even know how to explain that.
Sometimes, where did you hit her at on her body? Around the head area.
Blunt force is insane.
Sleeping at the time, or?
I don't know that.
Okay, did she wake up and say anything to you?
The True Become Human reference? I don't remember it.
Fingers on your neck to try to pulse to make sure she was dead.
You wouldn't get it.
Did you touch her anywhere else?
No, sir.
We got out-nerded, Cat.
Have you thought about touching her anywhere else?
Rinty, wait, what?
Have you...
Pulse to make sure she was dead.
Did you touch her anywhere else?
No, sir.
Okay. She woke up dead.
Have you thought about touching her anywhere else?
No, sir.
Anyway.
Josh was asked the same question,
Just
likely to
check her
determine if his
pulse.
story will match the forensic evidence found on Melanie's body.
When you went in the bedroom, at any time did you touch your mom?
Yeah, Summer County.
When you went in that room?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Like, I kind of, no.
He witnessed the altercation.
Like, I ran in and because then I saw her. And I freaked me out.
When you left, what were your plans at that point?
I haven't stopped that.
Oh, yeah. When did you think
What? And what was he going to do after? Just walk away?
doing this? I mean, when did this pop into your head as far as killing your mom?
Several years ago.
Had you told anybody about it?
No, sure.
What the fuck? Imagine having a kid, you're taking him to movies, you're feeding him, you're taking him to school, and he's just plotting on killing you for 3 years.
So,
Holy shit.
with this, I mean, thinking about this, is it were your mom just
No, I have no idea.
bad to you, or?
No, sure.
Unhandcuffed. I mean, when he's in interrogation, I don't think he's
Is she a pretty good
handcuffed.
mom, or?
Terrifying. So we're off of the brother. I feel like, yeah, I think we'll see the brother get emotional. I feel like when they have him in the room, they take the cuffs off, make him more comfortable, make him talk more, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? To build a rapport. Yeah, his voice is creepy as
Refusing
hell.
to classify her as either a good or a bad mom and sounding apathetic regarding his relationship with her could indicate that he was unable to form a true emotional connection with her or anyone else.
It wasn't even her
Because of his
fault.
willingness to answer most of the investigators' questions, except for his all-important motive, they ask him a series of questions to get as much information as possible.
He mentioned a note that has been found. When did you have a chance to write that?
While I was waiting and after I did it.
So
You wrote a note?
There's like 2.5 pages. You did it all tonight.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
Jeez,
you did some before
he's fucked in
you
the
killed your
head.
mother and some after?
Yes, sir.
When did you write the last part?
I want to see it.
What about what
I wanna
time
see the
did you
note.
write the last part?
Oh my.
I don't know, sometime around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. I think.
Okay, while you were out walking and stuff.
Yes, sir.
Was it before you bought the Pepsi at the Thorntons?
You went and got a Pepsi afterwards?
Yes, sir.
You had your phone with you for a while. Did you call anybody on your phone?
No, sir.
Okay, what'd you do with your phone?
I
Damn.
didn't do anything like
Bro, Coke Zero
I
is
didn't
better.
even realize it was in the pocket until I left.
So where's it at now?
I threw it in a ditch.
Why'd you throw it away?
I assumed I could be trapped for that.
Okay.
Damn.
What was your
Gets you
plans
tipsy?
as far? I mean, you didn't have any
What?
plans on where you're heading to, or how, Evidently you were trying to
Jack and
escape
Coke.
and trying to get away from police. You don't remember where you're trying to go to?
No, sir.
You had a backpack, so you had left. We were just gonna walk and just try and get out of the area.
Yes, sir.
Chillingly, after killing his mom and
Jesus.
fleeing the house, Zachary went to a convenience store to buy a Pepsi before he began walking in an attempt to escape from
What
police.
the fuck?
Though he had made an elaborate plan, it doesn't
The crazy thing is, he could have probably got way farther away if he didn't set the house on fire.
appear that
Too
he
slow
thought
for my
ahead of what
liking.
he would do after.
Coke is
According
better,
to
exactly.
unverified rumors online from people
I love
claiming to
Coke.
live in Sumner County.
Pepsi sponsored.
After
I
setting
doubt Pepsi would sponsor this guy as a spokesman of all people.
Fire.
I don't know.
Zachary ran non-stop for almost 5 miles with no destination in mind. Ironically, a
Jeez.
note on his phone written 7 months earlier on January 22nd, 2012, indicates that he had thought about his escape, or at least criminals escaping police detection more broadly. The note states, "After reading dozens of news reports about killers, I believe I found several consistent reasons why most killers are caught within a year. They rely too much on civilization. Most killers hide out in heavily populated areas or
Why would he write this down as a 15-year-old? He's a runner. He's a track star.
easily accessible areas.
Stupid cops.
They don't migrate to other areas after several kills
After
in
he
a
fucking
row.
killed his mom, he needs
This
to take
makes
the
the
edge
police
off.
in
So
their
he got a
area more
Pepsi.
alert and the citizens more cautious. Most rely too much on firearms or other weapons that produce loud noises. This will attract unwanted attention to their location. This sort of obsession with murder and serial killers can occur
Jeez.
among people with severe mental illness. The fixation doesn't
He
necessarily
looks like one of the goon rats from Flushed Away. You know what I'm talking about? He's like, keep your legs straight when you hit the water.
have to be with murder and serial killers, but it just so happened to be the case with Zachary. These individuals may often struggle with
LaBelle,
low
you know what I'm talking about,
self-esteem
true.
and therefore derive a sense of feeling powerful when they identify with bad guys like serial killers. Zachary may have felt tough and strong by learning the strategies of killers and thinking he could emulate them. Maybe this gave him a sense of identity,
You got too obsessed with
believing
true
that he
crime.
could not only be a killer too, but become a smarter killer by not making the same mistakes as the criminals he studied. Still, there was other evidence of Zachary's plan falling apart, such as the knife investigators found abandoned at the scene.
So why is the knife outside?
I was trying to put it into my backpack, and then the fire alarm started, and I just ran home.
What were you going to use that knife for?
Same thing I used the slasher and rifle.
Who were you going to use the knife on?
No specific person.
Oh
Were you
my
looking
god,
to
he was
kill
planning on
someone
killing
else
more.
Only if they got in my way.
Oh my
What do you mean by
god.
that?
If they tried to stop me from escaping.
So the lady at
I just said that,
Thornton
Mercy.
who
Get out of
sold you
here.
the Pepsi, she was
Oh, he
never
does.
in
I thought he
danger.
said why. That's my fault. My
No,
bad reading.
sure.
But
Why
the
do you-
officer
Damn.
that arrested you could have potentially been in danger if you were of the mind.
I guess, but it would be kind of pointless considering he had a gun and I just had a knife and a hammer.
What if he didn't have a gun and he tried to stop you?
I wouldn't attack him unless I was provoked by him.
Were you provoked by your brother?
No, sir.
Were you provoked by your mother?
No, sir.
What is most troubling
agree,
is that
I know.
according to both Zachary and Josh, there was no
Bruh, it's just
indication
my
that he had been
bad
planning
eyesight.
any
I
of
thought it said
this.
why. Instead
In
of
crime scene photos exclusively obtained by Ewu, there appears to be a code written on what may be the handle of the sledgehammer. Police also recovered a handwritten alphabetic key to the code.
What the
The
fuck?
code written on the handle translates as Z Requiem.
The fuck does that
This
mean?
has never been publicly confirmed, but ZED could possibly stand for Zachary's initials, Zachary Everett Davis. He may have also named the sledgehammer Requiem, which often refers to a mass for the dead.
What the
This is pure
fuck?
speculation and just a theory,
That's so
but
fucked.
this coded message could potentially be evidence that Zachary may have planned the attack ahead of time.
This is kind of serious. I mean, Zach, it's kind of a serious thing, but think about killing your mom.
He did it.
You didn't try and talk to anybody about that?
No, sure.
Why not? I mean, did it not bother you?
It's insane.
Yeah, sure.
Did it bother you?
No, sure.
Oh, it did bother you? Have you ever hurt anybody before?
No, sure.
Well, I mean, how do you feel when you killed your mom?
It's possible that Zachary is saying what he thinks
Does
a
it
serial
feel
killer
anything?
would say, as though he's playing a role.
Bro, imagine killing your mom, and even if you're playing a role or whatever it is, like, imagine like just like keeping a straight face. Like, I'd be like, you'd be emotional regardless, but this guy really just doesn't feel it. It just gave me chills. Like, what the fuck? Like, even if you were like killed your mom because she was being mean to you or abusing you, like, you would still be in there emotional. Like, you wouldn't be able to keep together your anxiety, all that stuff. He seems cool as a cucumber and just like answering the questions. Had no connection to anyone closely.
It's difficult to say for sure, but we know that he was affectionate toward his mother in the text messages they exchanged.
Yeah, but
And
he
she
also was planning for 3 years to kill her, so it could all be a part of the setup.
affectionate toward him as well. He made the same comment about not feeling anything about his father's death. It's possible that it's easier for Zachary to cut off all emotion than to feel the pain of grief and loss. On the other hand, his complete detachment from his mom may be the result of a personality disorder, such as schizoid personality disorder. In this disorder, the individual does not want to have any close relationships, even with family members. They prefer to be alone and appear to be cold and have a flattened affect, as Zachary does.
Did y'all have any?
Damn.
I mean, was there any problems between you and him, or him and your mom, or did they have any disagreements, or I mean, was there anything?
Like, I think they would argue.
Other than normal parents.
Not that I know of.
And yet, Zachary had savagely attacked his mother while she slept.
What did you do with the sledgehammer after you hit her with it?
I just laid it in the laundry room.
Why did you hit her about 12 times with it? Why so many times?
To make sure she was dead.
The officer asks Zachary to demonstrate how he swung the sledgehammer to kill his mother.
Kind of like that, basically.
So you right-handed?
Yes, sir.
Stand back up. Is that blood on your pants right there? In the front, right where your crotch is?
Oh, no, that's dirty.
Did you change clothes?
This is blood, though.
Oh, okay.
He still has blood on his pants.
Blood?
Yes, sir.
Are those the same shoes you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
Those are the same pants you were wearing?
Yes, sir.
That's the same shirt you were wearing?
No, sir.
Where's the shirt you were wearing?
I threw it away.
Why'd you get rid of that shirt?
It was
It had pieces of my mother's brain stuck to it.
He was wearing a South Park respect my authority shirt when he killed his mom. Is that a message? Lol. How they not clocked that when they brought him in? I have no clue. Bro, where's Craig at the South Park freak when you need him?
Still trying to understand why Zachary had killed his mother in such a brutal way, the officer asks him to recount his day before the attack. It was then that detectives noticed something interesting.
Bro, I'm sorry, but I'd be so mad if a motherfucker came in wearing that shirt and hit me with a fucking hammer. I'd be like, what the fuck?
He told them that he started his day by reading a book, Misery by Stephen King.
In the Misery book, one of the characters uses a sledgehammer. Am I correct in that?
Yes, sir.
Actually,
did he get inspired by Stephen King books?
Detectives have this wrong. In the book Misery, the main character uses an axe, while in the movie adaptation, she uses a sledgehammer.
Are you sure you didn't get any of your thought process from one of those, from that book?
Oh man, it wasn't a sledgehammer. Not LCP, the bookworm coming with the facts. I love that. LCP, bro. That was so cool, you know that.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, bro, I respect the fuck out of you, bro.
do you think, so you're saying it's strictly coincidence?
No, that's cool plus.
So
That's a cool fact check.
Any kind of...
That's like one of the only times where like, actually was cool. Like, no, there's some other times. Like sometimes when people go, well, actually, it's like, shut the fuck up. But like other times, like, damn, how'd you know that?
It was from the book Misery as to how you killed your mother.
No, sure. Zach, I'm sorry. We've been doing this a long time, and I mean, sledgehammer is a very unusual weapon to kill somebody with. So that's why.
I respect people who can read a big ass book. It takes a lot.
I work here, she came down here, but I was working in this vital area. Did you have any other type of weapons in the house that you thought about using? Something about using a claw hammer. A claw hammer? Yes, sir. I mean, you don't remember feeling anything? Did you cry? No, sir. Were you screaming when you're hitting her? No, sir. Did you say anything to her before you hit her? No, sure.
She died in her sleep, just walks in and hit her.
I mean, did you love your mother? Somewhat.
Somewhat?
When you say somewhat, I mean, you know.
How do you love your mother if you just murder her with a fucking sledgehammer?
Is there anything she's ever did to you that you hate her for?
Better than no.
Sure.
Well, it should
Though
be more
Zachary
likely,
denies that the book inspired his weapon of choice, possibly because he wants to take all the credit himself, his internet history indicates that murder and death was something he'd been thinking about for a long time.
Damn, look how musty that laptop is, bro.
He had 2 particularly strange apps downloaded on his phone, including one about serial
He had Minecraft on his phone?
Killers, and another about torture devices. As well, among the more
Army
mundane
survival.
video game cheat codes and jokes, he had a copious amount of gory images. Zachary had also bookmarked a few bizarre websites, including articles about...
No, if you believe there's actual people like this in the world, there are lots of them. Partially cut the ankle, smart writer. Said to shatter the ankles. That sounds dope.
About the murder of Jinko Furuta, Catherine Murch, who took her own life after killing her kids. The Louisville chainsaw murder, a cult leader on trial in Ohio for killing a family of 5, and an X-Acto knife double homicide. He also had a particular obsession with the killer Nevada Tan, also known as the Sasebo slashing, where an 11-year-old murdered another schoolgirl, 12-year-old Satomi Mitarai. Perhaps most tellingly, Zachary had also bookmarked an article titled Understanding Schizophrenia from helpguide.org. It's possible that he may have been trying to figure out why he was experiencing certain symptoms. Although Zachary may have some sort of severe mental illness, maybe even psychosis. As he's sitting in the interrogation room answering questions, he appears more like a cold-blooded murderer than a person suffering from psychosis.
Yeah, bro.
But this wasn't all. Zachary made notes on his...
See thou make thee really shortly for thou day that no man living may escape away death. Every man it may not be my by. What the fuck? I am death that no man, for every man I rest.
Phone that give unique insight into his twisted state of mind leading up to the killing. One says simply, Samantha Marshall, female, possible victim of... Another says, hanging over the masses like a shadow or a dark cloud, executing them all one by one without a sound. Omnipresent and biding its time, ready to steal you away at your prime. Welcoming to the stupid and the bold, not following any pattern, just doing as told. Laying to rest kings, queens, peasants, and thrall, death will eventually punish us all.
That would be hard in like a fucking like Marilyn Manson song.
So you can rewind the clock and go back. What would you do? I killed Josh with a sledgehammer too.
What is brother?
To Zachary's statement. When Josh was brought in for a second interview, the detective asks him about an incident that occurred at school, showing that the brothers saw their relationship with each other completely differently.
But when you got in trouble at school, I think it was last year, what happened to cause that when you got in a fight? Somebody said they were picking on Zach.
Oh, no, that was 8th grade.
Oh, was it 8th grade?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Middle school, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What happened to cause, I mean, what were they doing?
He was like like a piece paper, like, you know, you roll up a thing of paper.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of hitting him like that.
Hitting Zach with it?
Yeah, and I told the kid to stop, and he went up there and did it again. So.
Okay. And what was Zach's take on that?
Ben.
I mean,
Yo, what up,
Was he
bro?
mad that the guy was hitting him, or was
Are you
he
okay, Ben?
indifferent, or did he ask you to do something about it? Or was
no, he didn't ask me to do anything.
Okay. Just take
Brotherly
out to a
love.
brother.
It's possible that Zachary resented that his
Jeez.
brother stepped in to be the hero. He may have been
Nah,
frustrated that
that's
he
a
couldn't
reach. What does that have to do with anything? You think that one moment where his brother stood up for him was a reach? But that's a reach. That's not what caused him to do this.
protect himself and instead had to be saved by Josh.
Do you still want to kill Josh?
I'm gonna go to bed here soon. You not sure tonight?
And you're not going to tell me
I'm not
why?
gonna lie. Yeah.
I'm really curious as to why. I mean, you said that he was the only confidant you had. You didn't talk to anybody else. Why would you want to get rid of the only person that you confide in and talk to?
I don't know.
Well, you said you don't want to tell me, so you do know. There's a difference in wanting to tell me and not knowing. You just told me you didn't want to tell me, so you do know why you want to kill your brother and you killed your mother. I would just like for you to share that with me.
Feel better, bro.
But you will admit that you know why you did it.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you
I wanna
always
know
talk
why.
like you're talking to us now?
Yes, sir.
So if I talk to someone that knows you or a
Yeah,
teacher,
somebody's
they're going to
little
say, this is your demeanor. This is how you talk.
Most likely.
And so you're always monotone and robotic when you talk.
Yes, sir.
Unnerved by Zachary's behavior during his interrogation, detectives asked Josh the same question.
Has he always been talking that monotone voice?
Like quiet.
He's kind of quiet. You know, his voice don't go up or down. It's just like a flat monotone voice. Is that the way he normally talks? All the way? When did he start talking that way?
It's always been there.
Jeez. There's a fly in the room. They should just shoot him and make a noise. Bro, listen. You know what's crazy to think about? I do kind of understand. If his voices always sound creepy and like an old man like that, he probably was afraid to ever talk to anyone. I'm not trying to feel bad for him. I'm just saying, like, think about like how much that affected like his like fucked up mind.
Remember it ruined? Yeah. You ever laugh? Sometimes.
What makes you laugh?
Various things.
Various things.
Give me an example.
While I was laughing myself when I killed my mother.
You were
Hold up.
While I was laughing myself when I killed my mother.
You were what?
I was laughing when I killed my mother.
You were laughing? Why were you laughing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Cold-blooded.
Were you laughing your ass off at that time?
Yes, sir.
Paradoxical laughter often occurs among people with schizophrenia. They may
No,
laugh either to
sociopathic.
themselves, often in response to a hallucination,
What in the
or they may
fuck?
laugh in serious situations. However,
Lamau,
throughout the interrogation,
stop, pussy.
he
That
has
was not the
laughed
time.
inappropriately at all. It's possible that Zachary once again is trying to present himself as the evil villain he may identify with.
Jeez.
Whether Zachary is as void of emotion as he's trying to portray is unknown. His note entries on his phone, which show expressions of emotion, puts into question this image of himself that he's trying to show in interrogation.
Why were you laughing your ass off when you killed your mother?
I don't know.
Yes, you do. We went over this a while ago. You know why that you wanted to kill your mom. You just don't want to tell me.
No, I actually don't know why I was laughing.
Bro, I wonder if he's like hearing voices right now. Like if he's like there are like demons or whatever in the room with him right now or whatever he sees.
Well, was it a sense of accomplishment?
No, sure.
Do you laugh when you read the horror books?
No, sure.
Did you laugh today or yesterday when you read Misery?
No, sure.
Do you see do you see why it would be difficult for me to understand why that would be funny?
Yeah, sure.
A lot of people, because it's just highly unusual for a 15-year-old to take a sledgehammer and be laughing his ass off and hit her in the head with it 12 times. What do you think?
I don't have any information to give to you.
What
You
the
can't think of any
fuck?
reason whatsoever.
No, sure.
Be laughing off when he was in a serious situation. He's 15. Yeah, he's 15 years old.
With still no indication why he killed his mother in such a brutal way, the detective attempts to figure out if there were any issues in the family that may have motivated
No,
Zachary.
you're good, LCP.
In
This is
response to the
insane.
detective's
He
continued
looks so
questioning,
old, too.
Zachary makes a shocking allegation against a family member, claiming that they assaulted him years earlier. This has never been proven to be true, and there is no evidence to back up any of Zachary's allegations.
What did he do to you?
Who?
How
A
long
family
ago?
member?
How long you been in Tennessee?
Since 2008, I think, or 2007. I don't really remember the exact date.
Did you tell your mom about it?
Yes, sir.
What'd she do?
She didn't believe me.
Didn't believe you?
Holy crap.
Did he look you after that?
No, sir.
Just that one time when he did it?
Yes, sir.
And
How old would you have been then? Did you hold any ill will towards him for that?
Yes, sir.
And the conversation you had with your mother about that, can you tell us about that?
She thought it was my imagination.
Bro, if my kid ever comes to me and says my brother, whoever, touched them, did something inappropriate, you better believe I'm looking into that. Like, dude, it doesn't matter. Like, as a parent, you look into it. I mean, I don't even know about the situation, if this ever happened or whatever. But, like, still.
Did she ever talk to
Side
him?
note.
Not that I know of.
Did he never mentioned anything?
No, sir.
Why did he stop doing it?
I stopped bathing after that.
You stopped bathing
Yes, sir.
and he stopped, and that made him stop?
Yes, sir.
What the
you mean
fuck?
stop
That's
dating? You
dude.
mean you stop taking baths and showers altogether?
Yes, sir.
So how did you clean yourself?
I didn't.
You haven't cleaned yourself since 2008?
I have inconsistent intervals, but it's not very common.
Okay.
The detectives have
Can't believe
referred to a
you thought she
notebook they
concerns a
found at the
family
house,
member.
which miraculously survived the fire.
Yeah, dude, I could
Within,
not.
they found 2 notes written by Zachary. I was raped by him that day, and I've been planning to kill him ever since. The second entry, a confession, is believed to be written right after he killed his mother. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel remorse. My only true regret was that I didn't give her a faster death. I didn't want her to suffer. It's possible that Zachary's belief
Jesus.
about being assaulted was actually a delusion. Individuals diagnosed with schizophrenia may experience
Oh,
delusions,
shit.
which are strongly held beliefs that are unfounded.
There's always a reason. There's always
That's insane, bro.
a story. And just because it's your story and we're sitting here today doesn't make it any less important to us. It's important to us to find out what the truth is. We would like to deal with that, but we want to hear your side of it. We want to know what happened. Why did, obviously upset you. But your mom didn't do anything. You know why it took this long for you to act out?
No, sir.
These are
So
dumb.
you
That's
just
a dumb
boiled and
question.
boiled and boiled? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Would there have been any
Do you think it happened? Believe victims? Well, in this scenario, this case, I have no idea. I have no clue. The narrator said when they looked into the claims, the police, it was unfounded, no proof, no allegations, no anything was ever found, and that's why no charges were brought. And then also they brought the point that schizophrenia could lead into hallucinations like that. But even if I had a schizophrenic kid who hallucinated all the time, and they told me that 5 times a month, it doesn't matter how many times they told me, I would look into it every single time. And heavily look into it. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Exactly, Moon. I agree.
Certain things tonight that would have set that off. I mean, made you think about doing this. I mean, anything particular that happened of all nights, since 2008, it's 2012 now. Of all nights since then, that you would have did this. Yeah, sure.
As the interview begins to draw to a close, the detective...
I mean, yeah, you immediately want to say, you don't want to say, oh, I got to look into this, give me a second. You immediately want to get them help, get them to a doctor if they need to, get them somewhere safe, get them out of the situation, and do immediately what's right for their safety and their well-being without, bring up anything. And then independently after the fact, I think.
Detectives asked Zachary a few last questions.
What do you think what should happen if somebody did what you did? I don't know. I mean, I guess whatever's necessary. Whatever's necessary, but I mean, what do you feel? I mean, what do you feel? I mean, if somebody was to do this to you, what should happen to them? I don't think it would really matter.
Damn, he's right.
You give them the death sentence, they'll die, and you give them a life sentence, they'll die in prison anyway. So in the end, it doesn't really matter. So, did you think about the consequences when you did this? What could happen to you? Yes, sir. Can you tell me about that? No, sir. Why not? I'd rather not, sir. I mean, I'm talking about, do you think you could get caught by the police? And do you think that was a possibility? Yes, sir. And if you got caught by the police, what do you think would happen to you?
Bro.
Oh,
Mighty! Bro! Holy fucking shit, bro! Thank you for the cash app. God damn! Fucking love you, bro. You did not do that. Seriously, bro.
The officer had just one last question for Zachary, and this one, oddly, results in the most animated reaction that they've seen from him.
I'm not
but his unsettling response isn't
at all. Gotta go home. Are you at the bus?
What you might expect from someone in this situation.
Nihilism is so dangerous.
Do you always look at people through your eyebrows? You've been doing it all morning. Do you do that? Is that a habit, or is that something that you're just starting to do? I guess it's a habit. I've never really noticed. You never really noticed? No, sir. Nobody's ever said anything to you about it? No, sir. Why'd you giggle? Just... I mean, you don't know that you do that right there? No, sir. Okay. I'm not picking on you, I'm just... It looks kind of evil when you do that, I'm gonna have to say.
He likes it, bro.
You know you're doing it.
Bro, look how happy he got when he called him evil. Look at him, bro. This is the first time he showed any emotion off the reactions of the officers, and it's when they called him evil. Showed any emotion.
I'm just... It looks kind of evil when you do that, I'm gonna have to say.
Look.
I think you know.
And he tries to hide the smile.
And you're smiling about it, so I think you're pretty aware of what you're doing. No, I didn't realize I was doing it.
Wait, so do you guys think this is all an act?
Yeah, he did.
Given what we know about Zachary's obsession with murder and serial killers, it's likely that being called evil is a compliment.
Yeah,
this
obviously.
Again shows that he might identify with some sort of...
Bro, why did they take a picture of the Game Informer magazines? I used to always get these. Holy shit. Game Informer was where it's at. I used to love to get those magazines, bro. I was so happy when they come in the mail. My dad would be like, yo, the Game Informer magazine's in. Did anyone else get these? Bro said, oh, shucks.
Compliment. This again shows that he might identify with some sort of evil character.
You're about to journey into the mind of a psychopath killer. Light your ass like a liquid nitro gas spiller. Psycho slash Michael Myers, Michael Jacks thrillers. Rifle slash knife. That's your cop killer. That's the N-word. Discord Nitro. For Portal 2. Dang, I remember the World of Warcraft one came out. I had it forever, bro. I don't know what happened to it.
Or villain. If Zachary's monotone voice and eerie eyebrow stare are all an act, it's impressive because he was able to keep up the act and not break character throughout the whole interrogation.
Oh yeah, the only reason I know that's the N-word, by the way, is because it rhymed with the word he said before, and I know which words YouTube blurs out, because you can say a lot of bad words on YouTube, well, not say them, but have them spelt out, but there are some words you can't even have spelt out in your videos, and that's why they blurred it.
Following his interrogation, Zachary was evaluated by psychologists and mental health experts. One stated they believed that at the time of the killing, Zachary didn't have the mental capacity to meet the legal definition of premeditation, and that his mental illness affected his ability to use reflection and judgment.
He's 15.
In fact, the psychologist said that at the time of the crime, his thoughts were driven
Looking through his eyebrows, motherfucker has to. Look at his eyebrows. Look at his caveman, like, Neanderthal face. He has to look through his eyebrows. They, like, overhang his eyes.
Psychosis. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia and a depressive disorder.
Dang.
Changing his story from what he initially said to investigators, Zachary told one doctor that he had heard his deceased father speaking to him and that he had allegedly urged him to kill his mother. Still, investigators pointed out that he had fled the house with bags he had already packed, ditched his phone, and told police that he'd been thinking about killing his mother for years, all demonstrating that he planned the crime. Zachary eventually appeared on the Dr. Phil show, where he gave yet another reason for killing his mother, this time changing his story completely and claiming that he did it because, quote, she wasn't taking care of my family.
He was on Dr.
But
Phil?
still,
what's this guy's name?
You know, there are all kinds of people in this world. You know, we all know that. The fact that we have diagnoses for people is from time to time in the last 45 years, I've encountered people that I thought transcended evil. Encountered those that to interview this person by.
Dude, Dr. Phil takes fucking 5 million years to goddamn say anything. Fucking speak up, just get it out, you old stupid fuck. Sorry. This is a fucking, bro, it's a minute long and he's still fucking like, so today, guys, I'm going to be going, like, bro, spit it the fuck out. Look, listen, I can't stand watching, no, I have no respect for Dr. Phil.
By his lawyer.
When I'm driving, TLCP.
And when I arrived at the jail to interview...
Oh, cook your ass, go ahead, bro.
The guards...
Dr. Phil is a plebeian.
Really didn't want to be in the same room with him. He was shackled, hands and feet around his waist.
Dr. Phil shook his hand?
But they seriously didn't want to be in his physical space because they sensed such a evil energy around.
Like, what is he going on about?
Individual. I'm going to tell you, you may not want to watch it, so it's very brief, but if you want to look away and just listen, you can do that. I'll just tell you ahead of time. Did you kill your mother?
Yeah.
And why did you kill her?
She wasn't taking care of my family.
And so because she wasn't taking care of you and your family, you decided to kill her. And where did